Welcome to Off-Grid Cyberdeck. Today's video is extremely important because we're going to dive all the way into every different repository that comes on the complete decks and comes on the hard drives that I sell with the user interface and the operating system pre-downloaded ready to go. Before we go any further, subscribe, hit the bell, and leave me a comment letting me know something that you want me to search up, and I'll do a video searching up one of my favorite things within the comments, and we'll see if Cyberdeck has it on it. I've done it before, and I haven't failed, so please push the boundaries. Test me. Let's see if it can do it, okay? So, we're going to dive right in. One of the most common questions that I get is, what comes on it? The short answer is 40 different books. The long answer is thousands and thousands and thousands of different bits of information, okay? It's all housed within 40 books, but in reality, there's a lot more on here, and so that's what we're going to go into today. So, as you can see here, it says 39 books, and I want to start off with Wikipedia because it's probably the most unbelievable one for someone who's not familiar with this territory. One of my favorite things about Wikipedia is that all the hyperlinks work. It's not something that you would really expect out of, this type of locally hosted Wikipedia situation, but they do. All of this is locally hosted, and if I wanted to, I could share this information over an internal wireless router. Then anyone with a smartphone around me or a computer could log into that Wi-Fi and get all of the stuff exactly like you're seeing it here today. So one of the things that I wanted to search here is edible plants. And I want to see what edible plants there are and what Wikipedia has to say about a list of edible plants. A list of culinary fruits, herbs and spices, culinary nuts, edible cactus. That's a good one because there's cactus everywhere where I'm at. So let's pick one of these. And we've got pictures. And it's going to tell me about everything about it. The chemistry, the possible employment as a hallucinogen. Hell yeah, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about, So we'll go ahead and get out of here. It's getting a little PG-13. And let's take a look at, let's talk about medical stuff because I really, really like the medical aspect of this device and the type of information that it provides. So this is a post-disaster library with medical information. There's emergency war surgery, a book for midwives, first aid, pandemic influenza plan, wound closure manual, survival and austere medicine, personal will. Do you get it yet? Do you understand why it's so difficult for me to answer this question? Because the list is exhaustive. We've only opened 2 out of 40 books, and we're already here. But you know what? Perhaps one of the most difficult things to deal with when you're in an austere environment is a toothache. Toothaches are no good. And here we can select any one of the chapters that we need to. Scaling teeth. How about injecting inside the mouth? School activities for learning about teeth and gums. That can be good for kids. A very, very cool book that really helps you take care of your teeth when there's no doctor around, right? So we'll get out of this and let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other ones that are in here. How about a book for midwives? When I made Cyberdeck and I got into thinking about selling these to people and what their use case could be, my wife was pregnant, and this was one of the most important things for me to have on here. Because I think being able to take care of women and children is critical to the infrastructure. And I don't just think that, that's a fact. It's part of the ebb and flow of everything. So, don't we need to know how to do that? I didn't know how to give birth to a baby, and now that I've done it, I do. Thank God I was in a hospital, though, because I don't know that I'd have been able to do it, out here in the field. No, I would have been able to do it, I do know, but it would have been kind of cringy, I would have definitely fumbled the ball a little bit, but I'd have gotten there. So here we can see the first few weeks after birth, the first hours after birth, the birth of the placenta, stage 3 of labor. And we can go to any of these and take a better look at what they have to offer here. So checking the mother's physical signs, bleeding after birth, what does it say about that? If you have a helper, one of you can help the mother while the other one watches the baby. If you're working alone, you will need to decide whether to care for the mother or the baby first. This type of information is invaluable. Cannot even stress. And if you got any brain cells to rub together, then you know that it is as well. Let's go ahead and back out of the medical library here and start to take a look at some of the other books, as it wants to call them, inside of here. How about amateur radio? Now this uses StackFlow or Stack Exchange to query 1,500 questions related to amateur radio. One of the ones that I've just selected is antenna theory. There's over 403 questions that are being answered here on antenna theory, how do handheld antennas work without a ground. And here are all of the different answers to that question. So if you're interested in ham radio or you are a ham radio expert, either way, you're going to get something out of this device and out of the different repositories that exist within it. Now, I started off my career in the world as a bicycle mechanic, and as such, I chose to include a library in here, a Stack Exchange on bicycle maintenance. So we'll get down here into bicycles. I want to open that, and I'm also going to open vehicle maintenance here. So these are the top 1,500 questions related to bicycle maintenance. Now, probably one of the most common issues is a flat tire. So what type of tires can prevent goat heads? What are the effects of completely filling tires with water instead of air? How to get very tight tire back on the rim? And as we dive into some of these things, we can get some really valuable answers here. Now that we've taken a look at that, let's go ahead and take a look at vehicle maintenance. Now, one of my favorite vehicles that I ever had was a Ford F-150. So I want to see what this has to say about Ford F-150's quirks. It's got a lot of them. Broken spark plugs. How do the vehicle control modes work? Is there a hack for the radio? 97 F-150 Lariat, a Triton, a V8. Mine was an inline 300. So let's take a look at a 4.9 liter F-150 4x2 4.9 straight 6. That's what mine was. It misses after lots of work. So these are some of the questions and answers. Are the spark plugs gapped correctly? Plug wires connected to the correct cylinders? Pull one plug out at a time until... This is all really good advice. My entire life I've been a professional mechanic, and I can personally say this is good advice. Now let's go ahead and get back out to the main page again, and let's take a look at... I don't know, brewing beer. There's one in here on brewing beer. There's one in here on Hinduism, a water treatment library. If you don't have water for 3 days, you're dead. You can go without food for a long time, but you gotta have water. Distillation for home treatment. Let's go ahead and open that one up. Purifying water during an emergency. Let's see that one. And let's also check plants as an indicator of groundwater. Distillation for home water treatment. Look at this, y'all. What about this one? Purifying water during emergency. This is from the Washington Department State of Health. Purifying by added liquid chlorine bleach. Don't know that I would want to do that, but you could do it. Guess it depends on how thirsty you are. Plants as indicators of groundwater. Department of the Interior. What a cool book. This is going to be a major player whenever it comes to identifying what we need, what we don't need, how to get what we need depending on where we are. Critical. Alright, so let's back out of here and let's take a look at, how about the periodic table? Critical. Let's watch a video. Now, I don't have any speakers hooked up to this, so you're not going to be able to hear it. But this is a little Khan Academy lesson on the periodic table of elements. Project Gutenberg is a very cool project. There are over 10,000 books on Project Gutenberg, and there's all kinds of stuff from literary classics to educational materials. I mean, the list is very exhaustive. So just a search for Tom Sawyer is going to give me basically every Tom Sawyer book in existence, and it pulls up in a beautiful, nice PDF format that allows you to see what the cover of the book actually would have looked like. Look at that. Amazing. How about TED Talks for Survivor's Wisdom? All of these pull up. Again, they're locally hosted, and one of the things that's cool about a video being locally hosted is that there's essentially no buffering time. You pull the video from the hard drive, but once it's pulled from the hard drive, you can scrub this thing very fast. So you can see here I'm jumping 12 minutes in Got some English subtitles going on. What about some Vietnamese subtitles? How about Tang Viet subtitles? Again, there's no audio connected, but the audio does play. Swear. And last but certainly not least, Reggie Watts' 9 mind-boggling TED Talks. I am a huge music buff, and as such, I like to keep music with me no matter where I am. So that is a repository of different music TED Talks. Oh yeah, there's one in here on philosophy and language learning. Critical. Food preparation and conservation, talks for jazz lovers, music around the world, deep studies of humanity, what comes after war, post-disaster resource library. Let's take a look at that one. 3 days emergency preparedness. 3 months supply of food. Another water purification. Survive unexpected emergencies. 72-hour checklist. A family list. Suffice it to say that it's got everything that I would want for my family. When I was building this, it was specifically for that purpose. If I had to be emergency evacuated, if there was an imminent threat, if there was an infrastructure collapse, I would want this device to have everything that I needed to know in a box, and I would want to feel comfortable that I had everything that I needed. And so I've included everything on here that I thought would be beneficial to society, my family, and the people around me. Can you blame me? I can't blame me. Leave a comment below and let's put your creativity to the test. I want to know if there's something on here that I can't find, because that might be a good opportunity for me to expand it. You know, make me look like an idiot. I could be humbled every once in a while. Okay, everybody can. Get out there, be a leader, rock your day, kill it, whether it's the morning, afternoon, or the evening. I don't know, but for me, it's night, so I'm out. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.